walks onto stage. Good whatever, lady and gentlemen. Following on from the review of Read My Lips, the original CD, I thought I would try a review of Read My Lips, the 25th anniversary vinyl album. Pauses. I used to be a bit of a vinyl junkie. Back in the day. Having grown up with vinyl media being the norm, I used to collect records within my preferred genre until I found a woman who wanted to live with and marry me. I love music, but not as much as I love being in love with a woman. So my record collection dries out around the time I found my ex-wife. Pauses. Well, that and when CDs became the norm. Smirks. However, vinyl lives on. Cheers. And every now and again, I purchase some vinyl. One of my favorite recent additions was The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The sound of vinyl adds a depth that digital lacks. Smiles. So when I heard a 25th anniversary vinyl album of Read My Lips was to be made available, I decided to let serendipity take my hand once more. For time's past sake. Pauses. The Read My Lips album is a double album, but no double spread inlay size. A single album sleeve holds 2 red glittery records, sleeved in words and large black and white images of Sophie Ellis-Bextor from the Read My Lips era. Pauses. And here are the songs on those records. Side A. Murder on the Dance Floor. Take Me Home. Lover. Move This Mountain. Music Gets the Best of Me. Pauses. Side B. Sparkle. The Universe Is You. I Believe. Get Over You. By Chance. Pauses. Side C. Is It Any Wonder? Leave the Others Alone. Final Move. Everything Falls into Place. Murder on the Dance Floor, live from New York. Pauses. Side D. Groove Jet. 2020. Dear Jimmy. Want You More. One Way or Another. Come Over All Summer. Smirks. That is a lot of music, I trust you agree. With the original Read My Lips album songs juggled around a little. Pauses. Additionally, every now and again, Sophie from 2001 pops up with a few words about the making of the album and her thoughts at the time. An interesting touch. Pauses. The original Read My Lips album experience included a Watch My Lips DVD, which appears to be where the interview snippets come from. Pauses. Sophie confirmed this online as she watched her young self discuss the album. Isn't time an amusing physical property of the universe? Smirks. The original Read My Lips album song sequence sits better with me. Pauses. On this vinyl version, although the original CD album sequence is firmly burned into my memory. Looks left. Are the other tracks bonus tracks? Looks right. Or new stories being told in a broader tale? Pauses. Only Sophie can answer that question, I think. Side D is where any broader tale is told. What do you think Sophie is telling the listener? Pauses. Groove Jet. If This Ain't Love, 2020. Dear Jimmy. Want You More. One Way or Another. Come Over All Summer. Pauses. Perhaps something happened in 2020 that altered Sophie's perception. 2020 was the year of the COVID lockdowns, when everybody was told to stay at home. The year everybody lost their collective minds. Pauses. Dear Jimmy. Is about a fan who is infatuated with the idea of a star. They have a poster of them on their wall. It is a song about the anxiety of unrequited love. Loving someone you cannot stop loving. Or who you want a relationship with. Yet, no, you cannot. Or dare not. Even. Entertain. A relationship with. Rolls eyes. Very few people have such little imagination that they have never fantasized about another person. Pauses. How many of those who have fantasized suffered from fainting goat syndrome, making it impossible to even realize most relationships? And how many have Tourette's? Smirks. Want You More is another love situation. This time, the object of her desire is already engaged in a relationship. And Sophie is announcing that she is a better partner. And that she could not want them more. Another story of a love that cannot be fulfilled. Pauses. One Way or Another is a Blondie cover. I remember this from Sophie's Shoot from the Hips era. The song was on the soundtrack of the film The Guru, which is a film about a sex guru. Pauses. One Way or Another was inspired by Debbie Harry's experience of a stalker. Looks left. My avatar sometimes wears a deer stalker. Looks right. Hunting though is not my thing. And anyway, it is Sophie singing in the first person. Being stalked by Sophie might be enjoyable, depending on whether or not she is armed. Rolls eyes. Come Over All Summer is something new. It is a light-hearted song about feeling summery when in love. A play on sunshine on a rainy day. Or You Are My Sunshine. A common romantic musical theme. Pauses. When the source of the sunlight is unknown. As in The Invisible Sun by the Police. That is, the band rather than law enforcement officers. The warmth becomes a spiritual warmth. A source of comfort and joy which has no obvious source. Which is present even on the darkest of days. Pauses. It was this feeling that led me to the concept of Brian Brain. The living universe. Pauses. 2026 was the year Sophie released the album Piri Meno Pop. A title I initially mistook as Premier O Pop. As in top-notch, pop. Not that the album is not top-notch. More that the title Piri Meno Pop was referencing Sophie's stage in life. Pauses. I have not been paying that much attention to Sophie Ellis-Bextor's pop career. Or her online and television appearances. Although I had noticed her joining in on Strictly Come Dancing. And she is always on my mind. Pauses. Okay, I do peek a little. If only for entertainment purposes. And to reminisce and catch up on what she is up to. Pauses. It is hard to forget. And her music draws me in. What can you do? Looks left. So I keep a picture of her and smile when I see her face. Is that a bad thing? Looks right. And pinned a picture of her to my Twitter profile. With a speed date question. Name 5 things that you cannot live without. Pauses. A sunrise. A sunset. A smile. A kiss. And the sparkle in your eyes. Pauses. It doesn't mean anything. Pauses. Other than, I bit off more than I could chew. And now she follows me around in my mind. Rolls eyes. What can you do, eh? Peace, I am out of here, word up. Exits stage left.